Tonight may be the moment when angels pour down mercy and our supplications rise with extraordinary force. Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, the night of decree, is the night of Allah's mercy descending upon us. It surpasses 1,000 months in worth, outvaluing an entire lifetime. If those who have passed away long to have even a single minute to stand for 2 short rak'ahs on an ordinary day, how intensely must they yearn for another opportunity at Laylatul Qadr? You are still alive. Many who have gone before you rely on your dua for them. But what lies beyond the veil that separates us from them? One reason the night is called Laylatul Qadr is that the heavens are filled to their qadr, to their utmost measure. Angels traverse between the heavens in such vast numbers and with such urgency that it is as if they dim the sun with their procession. They descend upon masjids and homes, carrying our deeds and reports to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they bring an atmosphere of salam, peace, that extends until the dawn. If we could hear our names being recorded on the preserved tablet whenever we remember our Lord, how much would our hearts burn to see that writing with our own eyes? Yahya ibn Mu'adh, may Allah have mercy on him, cried out, "O heedless one, O negligent one." He said that if one could hear the sound of pens writing in a lawh al-mahfuz when one's name is inscribed each time they remember their master, they would die longing from the intensity of that yearning. May Allah grant us the blessing of seeing our names recorded when our time comes and of meeting Him while He is pleased with us. Think of those who strove sincerely in earlier generations. Many of them still look upon Laylatul Qadr from their graves, even if their struggle was over 1,000 years ago. The memory of that night continues to bring them joy. Imam Ibn al-Jawzi, may Allah have mercy on him, stated that if the inhabitants of graves were permitted to make any wish, they would ask for another day of Ramadan. If that is so, how much more would they long for the final 10 nights? That, however, concerns those who experienced Laylatul Qadr while they lived. What of those now in the grave do they perceive when Laylatul Qadr occurs in our world? We already know that time exists in the Barzakh. Allah describes Pharaoh's punishment as being exposed to the fire morning and evening, and the Prophet ﷺ said people are shown their final abode each morning and evening. The souls grasp world events because they receive reports of deeds sent to them by their living relatives, and they learn of worldly affairs through new souls who enter their realm. Narrations describe how eager the dead are to inquire about those still living. Scholars such as Ibn al-Qayyim, may Allah have mercy on him, affirm that the souls of the believers gather on Fridays, much as we do here, and many dreams indicate the same. Jumu'ah is a blessed occasion even within paradise. In Kitab al-Ruh, one early chapter asks, "What do the birds intone on the day of Jumu'ah?" There is a report about Mutarrif, may Allah have mercy on him, who habitually visited the cemetery on Fridays in the early morning. On one visit, he dozed by the cemetery gate while seated on his horse and beheld a vision. The souls sat above their graves and called to him, "O Mutarrif, who comes to us every Jumu'ah." Birds flew and sang nearby, and when he asked what they were saying, the souls replied, "They are saying, Salam, Salam, a blessed day." If the dead greet Jumu'ah with such blessing, how can we doubt that on Laylatul Qadr, when angels proclaim Salam, Salam, there is some profound impact in those other realms? Imam al-Dahhak commented on the verse saying that Allah decrees nothing on this night except in a state of salam and tranquility, free from harm. He explained that even meteors and falling stars are not permitted to pelt the devils on that night until morning. The world experiences a pause, a respite from trials and the mischief of shaitan. Even dreams can be sanctified on this night, pure and blessed. Abdullah ibn Abbas reported that Yusuf's dream, seeing the sun, moon, and stars prostrate to him, was bestowed on Laylatul Qadr. Thus, even if the Barzakh is beyond our full comprehension, it would be fitting that this night brings blessing and relief there as well. When Ramadan arrives, the Prophet ﷺ taught, the gates of hell are closed and the gates of paradise are opened. What does this mean for those who already dwell in chambers of hell or gardens of paradise, or for those who can glimpse into the other destination? We ought to hope that on Laylatul Qadr, more souls are guided to salvation, and that for some, their deliverance becomes apparent on that night. Imam Ibn al-Jawzi also taught that Laylatul Qadr confers Qadr worth on those who previously had little standing. In other words, by observing this night, some become people of elevated value in the sight of Allah. Perhaps on this night our spiritual status is altered. Our names may be moved from the registers of the wicked into the registers of the righteous. And in that shifting, every action we perform gains weight. Our dua, therefore, becomes exceptionally consequential. I want you to hold this image of Laylatul Qadr in your heart. Recall how the night of Isra'i salatu wassalam, he was taken to realms unseen, met with prophets at Al-Aqsa, stood among the highest angels, witnessed the scenes of reward and punishment, and then stood before Allah. Imam Ibn Taymiyyah connected these two nights and observed that the night of Isra was superior for the Prophet ﷺ because of what he received personally, while Laylatul Qadr is superior for the Ummah because of what was granted to the community. Laylatul Isra was a private passage for the Prophet ﷺ into the Barzakh sites. Laylatul Qadr is our Ummah's night journey to Allah, a night when we recite the words of Allah and the angels raise our deeds toward the throne. Just as the Prophet ﷺ interceded for those he loved on Al-Isra, on Laylatul Qadr, we intercede for our loved ones, alive and deceased. Remember the father who told his son, "Do not stop sending your gifts to us in the form of dua." He asked his son to make dua for them, to plead for al-afful, for pardon and forgiveness. When you supplicate with the formula, "O Allah, you are the pardoner, you love to pardon, so pardon us," be sure to include the deceased among the us. They asked, "Do not stop sending us gifts in the form of dua?" If the world is a stage and we perform before the unseen, seeking unseen rewards, then Laylatul Qadr is the supreme night of that performance. How joyous it will be when we stand and see the fruits of what we did for others and for ourselves manifest in the Barzakh. We long to arrive at a state where our righteous deeds remain behind us as testimony, and where our supplications continue to reach those we love. Let this motivate you to act now, to lift your hands for those in the unseen, and to treat this night not as another night, but as the night by which destinies are weightily affected. Make your dua sincere, include the deceased, and beseech Allah with humility and hope that on this night He records mercy and elevation for you and for those you love.